Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Right now at 10, Donald Trump makes a campaign stop in Wisconsin. Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Michael Germain. Former President Donald Trump spoke at the Prairie du Chien Arts Center today. News 8 Now's Allison Fergit was there and has the details.
Michael, Trump focused his speech today on illegal immigration and the southern border. His visit comes after an undocumented immigrant was arrested in Prairie du Chien after assaulting a woman and her child. During his speech, Trump worked to tie Vice President Harris to illegal immigration. Republicans have named Harris the border czar. It's a reference to Biden previously tasking Harris to work with officials from Latin American countries to address migration to the U.S.
4 years ago, I handed Kamala Harris the most secure border in U.S. history with the lowest illegal immigration on record. Kamala Harris's actions completely opened up the border and made it very unsafe.
Illegal immigration was not at its lowest point in history when Trump left office. Migration at the southern border did hit a 3-year low in April 2020 while Trump was president, but it increased during the remaining 8 months of his term. During his speech, Trump also slammed Harris's Friday visit to the southern border.
But what Kamala did not talk about in her remarks last night were the countless Americans who've been brutally assaulted and killed by illegal aliens.
Trump spoke about the recent arrest of an undocumented immigrant in Prairie du Chien. The man faces charges including sexual assault, strangulation, and battery.
This animal crossed Kamala's wide-open border, along with hundreds of thousands of others that are worse than him,
Trump's speech comes days after the head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement reportedly said the agency released 435,000 undocumented migrants with criminal convictions.
What Kamala Harris has done to our border is a betrayal of every citizen. It's a betrayal of her oath, and it's a betrayal of the American nation.
Trump hammered home the same message throughout the speech, that he's the only candidate that can secure the southern border.
But it all stops the moment I raise my hand and take the oath of office as your 47th President of the United States. It all stops.
Although today's focus was primarily on illegal immigration, Trump also briefly touched on inflation and criticized Biden and Harris's green energy policies. Reporting in Prairie du Chien, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
Allison, thank you. Governor Tony Evers has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff to honor the brave Wisconsin firefighters who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. In May, Governor Evers signed Executive Order number 222 to honor the final alarm ceremony, the Wisconsin Fire and EMS Memorial. On Saturday, October 12th, he will once again recognize the significant event of Fire Prevention Week.
We had another hot one out there. If you got to enjoy any time outside today, you definitely felt it. We were nearly 10 to 15 degrees above average in some locations, a high of 85 in La Crosse, even a bit warmer in Eau Claire with a high of 86. So it was warm out there. It felt a little bit more like a mid-June day than a end of September day, in my opinion. Here's our average temperatures for this time of year. Usually across the area in late September, we should be sitting anywhere at a maximum of 65 to maybe 70 degrees. So we are well above that, and we're going to continue on that path for the next few days. Now, we are still tracking that chance for those river valley fog conditions to stick around going into Sunday morning. Now, this is going to be a continuing issue as we go into multiple mornings from now. It's that time of year where we start to see this river valley fog, so just be prepared for that most mornings when you're waking up. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty clear night until that fog rolls in. Just right above average for this time of year, sitting in the mid-50s for those overnight lows, and in Eau Claire, a very similar story, although already getting up into the 70s as we get into those afternoon hours. So we're going to see those warm temperatures stick around for Monday and Sunday with a mostly dry and calm week, but then we're going to see a pretty significant cool down coming up. I'll have all the details coming up in the next forecast.
Sounds like a plan. Nicole, thank you for that. Day 3 of Oktoberfest kicked off with an annual tradition. Today, dozens of people gathered to celebrate the 63rd annual Maple Leaf Parade. The parade lasted 2 hours and featured over 100 floats this year. The floats showcased first responders, local businesses, and News 8. News 8 also broadcasted the parade on our digital platforms and 8.2 channel. Before the parade, people laced up their shoes and hit the annual Maple Leaf Walk and Run. The YMCA began its walk and run event today with a half marathon. The event aims to raise money for various programs, and the race director says the event has become a community tradition.
It's become such a staple in the community of La Crosse, and I love to be able to be a part of that and offer something fun for people in the morning.
Today's event raised $100,000. The next event will be the Thanksgiving Turkey Trot. The Winona community is coming together to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's disease. The event kicked off at JC's Pavilion in Lake Park, featuring a 1-mile route. All funds raised will support vital care and research efforts through the Alzheimer's Association. For many attendees, the disease strikes a personal chord.
This cause is so meaningful to me. My grandpa had dementia and Alzheimer's, and I just really walked to honor him. He passed away a couple of years ago, so I just want to walk to honor him.
Each registered participant received a Promise Garden flower, with each color symbolizing a unique connection to Alzheimer's disease. The walk has successfully raised over $50,000. Dozens have been killed after a Category 4 hurricane has hit Florida. Those details when we return after the break.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's fall jean sale is going on now, and all jeans are on sale. We're so confident we have the right brand, style, and fit for you that we'll give you a free $5 Farm and Fleet gift card for every pair of jeans you buy. Like men's Rustler jeans, just $15.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. Men's Special Buy Carhartt jeans, 40% off, just $17.99. And shop store-wide savings like 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Oil, $30.99.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5, 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Hi, you might see me in your mailbox. Don't throw me away. I have a lot to say about Network Health. Like how Network Health has Medicare Advantage plans that give you $25 back towards your Medicare Part B premium every month. Plans start at $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs. Plus, extra benefits are built in, including dental, vision, over-the-counter items, and more. With Network Health, it's your choice. Isn't that great? Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Helene continues unleashing its fury through the southeast. More than 50 people have been killed because of the storm across 5 states, and millions remain without power. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest from Florida's Big Bend region.
Helene made landfall in Florida's Big Bend region Thursday night as a monstrous Category 4 hurricane, leaving coastal communities like Keaton Beach, Florida, nearly unrecognizable.
Clearly, you saw a storm surge in excess of 15 feet.
I mean, there was just houses everywhere, and now there's nothing.
Most of the communities in Big Bend still don't have power. Recovery from this historic storm will be long, especially for people still waiting on insurance claims from the last hurricane.
We are still fighting with our insurance for my store and my house down here that were damaged in Idalia last year. So we're months away from an end in that situation.
In North Carolina, more than 400 roads in the western part of the state were closed as of Saturday morning. Since Thursday, Buncombe County received over 5,500 911 calls and conducted more than 130 swiftwater rescues. Parts of Asheville, North Carolina have been left under several feet of water.
A lot of the businesses are absolutely
wrecked. I've never seen anything like that since I've lived here.
Federal Emergency Management Agency Administrator Deanne Criswell is on the ground in Florida Saturday surveying the destruction. The agency says it deployed more than 800 staff to support states affected by Helene, and their distribution centers are fully stocked. In Keaton Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Coming up on News 8, an exciting partnership between Uber and a Halloween retailer.
We're seeing these 80-degree days stick around for just a little bit longer, but we're going to have a pretty significant cool down coming up. I'll have all the details on just how cold we're going to get coming up after the break.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is killing over 1,000 people a year in Wisconsin. New reporting shows that Eric Hovde is doing business with a bank accused of links to the Mexican drug cartel. Banco Azteca loaded up $26 million in cash and flew it to Eric Hovde's bank in California. Other U.S. banks have cut ties with this Mexican bank, but Eric Hovde took their money. That's 26 million more reasons you can't trust Eric Hovde.
I have had the privilege of working with an exceptional team to install over 12,000 home improvements for local homeowners in the last 35 years. Now it's time for me to spend a little more time with my bride of over 50 years. Fortunately, I found an experienced remodeling contractor and corporate project manager to lead the board store into the future.
And with an outstanding team by my side, I am proud to lead this amazing company my dad has built. And we look forward to continuing to serve you with the great value that is the board store trademark.
Drive in and see Wisconsin's best furniture store. With holidays and the football season upon us, shop and order now.
Browse the most competitive prices on a huge selection of sofas, sectionals, and chairs.
Awesome discounts on power reclining with adjustable headrest, zero gravity, or lift.
Set the table this year with options from Ashley, Sunny Design, and our rustic Amish pieces. Looking for a better night's sleep? Try out any of our hybrid, all foam, and double-sided mattresses with adjustable bases and frames available.
Furniture from our family to yours. Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
One of the biggest mistakes you can make when shopping for a car is committing to a loan payment. Once you do that, you've lost control over the entire transaction. Control over the price of the car, what you're going to get in trade, maybe even your interest rate. So if you want someone to help you along with this transaction, give me a call or one of my great loan officers.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
It seems like everyone in Washington is either too far left or too far right. I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll stand up to Democrats to fight for a secure border and stop wasteful spending. I'll stand up to extremists like Derek Van Orden, who wants to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Like you, I'm fed up and ready for change. I approve this message because it's time that we sent one of us to Congress.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Halloween is almost a month away, and Uber has announced a new partnership with the largest Halloween retailer in North America. The rideshare company will now deliver costumes, makeup, and even decorations from Spirit Halloween. Uber said households are looking for on-demand delivery to get what's needed now. So this spooky holiday season, instead of heading to the seasonal store aisles, your Halloween supplies can be delivered right to your door. There will be fees associated with Uber Eats delivery. Southwest Airlines is showing its future plan for planes that will come with a major seating change and good news for people looking to buy a home. Jared Hill has the details in this Eye on Consumer report.
Mortgage rates continue to drop and are now at the lowest level in 2 years. The rate on a 30-year fixed loan is 6.08%. A year ago, it was 7.3%. Rates are expected to drop more now that the Federal Reserve is starting to cut its benchmark rate. That positive news comes as another report shows the American economy remains strong. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis says the gross domestic product, or GDP, grew at a healthy 3% annual pace from April through June, driven by consumer spending and business investment. And big changes are coming to Southwest Airlines. The company says it's going to end the 50-year-old open boarding system and start using assigned seats in early 2026. Planes will also offer rows with extra legroom for an additional price. But one policy that's not changing: customers can continue to check their bags for free. Those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
It certainly was not feeling like fall today as the sun was out in full swing. Let's send it over to meteorologist Nicole Skalicki for a check on our weekend weather forecast.
Oh yeah, it hasn't felt like fall for a while. It feels like we've been sitting in the 80s for multiple days now. If we take a look at our temperature trend here to end out last week, we were still in the 80s. Today has been the hottest of them all, seeing a high of 85 in La Crosse. And then those next 2 days, not much is going to change. As we can see, that average up there is reading 70 degrees, and we are staying well above that to start the next week off and finish this weekend out. So if you're a fan of summer, I would definitely encourage you to get out there because it's going to see its end as we get into the next week. So here's a look at one of the warmest Septembers that we've had in the area in a while. For days above 80 degrees this month, on average in La Crosse, we should be seeing around 11 days where we get above 80 degrees or more. To this year so far, we've already seen 18 days. That's tied for the second most on record, and we still have 2 days ahead of us where we could be hitting that mark as well. Now that record is 20 days, and that was set all the way back in 1908. So if we do get this forecast right and Sunday and Monday do reach 80 or higher, then we could potentially see a record tying September. Here in Eau Claire, the average is usually 8 days where we see 80 degrees or above. Now we still are well above that for this year, seeing 15 days so far. That's tied for 4th on record. Now the record was also set in 1908 in Eau Claire, but that's 19 days. So we probably won't be reaching that this year, but we could be adding on to our tally a little bit as we get into the next couple days. So on average, we usually start saying goodbye to the 80s by the beginning of October, and that's right around the quarter. So we're right on track. And then already just 3 weeks after that, by the end of October, we'll be saying goodbye to the 70s. So enjoy this weather while we have it, because it's not here to stay for very long. So these 80s are going to stick around for Sunday and Monday, and then we're going to see this large cold front start to move over. As it moves over Monday night, we're going to feel significant changes waking up in the morning on Tuesday, being wind gusts and some very cooler temperatures. A little bit closer to seasonable though, although it's going to feel pretty chilly out there. Here's a look at those wind speeds as we go throughout Monday night. We can see that front edge of the cold front starting to move through here around 9 p.m. It'll start entering the area, and this is just the sustained wind speed. So we're seeing anywhere from 15 to even over 20 miles an hour as we go into the overnight hours for Monday. Now those could stick around a little bit going into Tuesday as well. However, the brunt end of it is going to be really when that cold front passes through. Here's those maximum wind gusts. So it's going to be breezy Monday night. You're definitely going to feel this on your house or your apartment, seeing some gusts of almost 35 miles an hour. And again, that could transition over into Tuesday as well with some breezier conditions. But for now, we have very calm conditions out there, seeing our lows getting into the mid-50s. We're going to see that River Valley fog again in the morning, but after that, we're seeing very sun-filled skies with highs getting into the low 80s once again, really feeling like summer out there. And then look at that high for Tuesday, 67. Believe it or not, that's really only 2 degrees below average for this time of year. So just because it's going to feel like it should be doesn't mean it's not going to feel cold. I think I'm not going to be used to that.
No,
I have
absolutely.
to put a jacket on.
We were talking off camera. I know you folks watching can't see. Back of my neck, I'm sunburned, and it is September 28th. That blows my mind.
I bet there was a couple other sunburns out there from that parade this morning. It was hot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Nicole, thank you. Coming up in sports, homecoming in Caledonia. The Warriors with some Saturday afternoon football as they host La Crescent. Kate has the highlights after the break.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Scouting has helped them build confidence through problem solving, learning to cook over a fire, building a tent in areas that they don't always get exposed to.
It's not competitive. It really helps develop your son or daughter into a great human being.
This is a great opportunity for your child to get to know the outdoors, and there's so much that outside and nature can provide for our children, and having these experiences is what Scouting is all about.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. These places employ us, sponsor the Little League team, and feed and clothe us. That's why I'm proud of the work I've done to support our business community. I know that the side of the aisle you're on matters less than being on the side of our main streets. No party has a monopoly on good ideas. I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm working for our businesses, working for our communities, and I'm working for you.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
We usually have college football on Saturdays, but with UWL on a bye week, I made my way over to Caledonia, where the Warriors were taking on La Crescent for some homecoming football. Let's go there. Warriors currently ranked number 5 in two-way. First drive for Caledonia, going for it on 4th and goal, but Ethan Stendel dropping back. But the pass is broken up by Ethan Myrie. Lancers take over, but the Warrior defense came ready to play. Mace Boyer takes the handoff, but Cooper Allen all over that. Tackle for loss. Then on the next Warrior drive, play action. Faked me out, but Stendel finds Tristan Meyer for the touchdown. Warriors take an early lead. Later in the half, Cal driving again. Stendel dropping back. He's going to let it fly, and that's Will Allen making the catch. He's got some speed all the way in for the score. Warriors go up 14. Then just before the break, Stendel again feeling the pressure, and he's going to take off. Lowers the shoulder and barrels his way in for the score as Caledonia gets the win on homecoming 28-0. And at halftime, a cool moment here as Coach took the mic as the program honored longtime strength coach Ernie Hodges for all his years and dedication to the program as he steps back from his daily involvement. He was a part of the 10 state championships and a huge part of the success in Caledonia. Flowers in football. Spring Grove trying to keep a win streak alive and celebrating Parents' Night as the Lions take on Mountain Lake. Lions in Wolf territory at the beginning of the second quarter. Bryce Burns looks at the goal line, spins, and finds Brandon Jock for the touchdown. That puts the Lions up 7. Shortly after, Mountain Lake trying to move the ball downfield. Jake Evers dropping back. He's going to be picked off. Zach Brum comes out of nowhere. Spring Grove takes over, and then a few plays later, Burns hands it off to Joshua Ronsenberger for the touchdown. This puts the Lions up 2 scores as they would go on to win 21-12 and improve to 5-0 on the year. Let's go to the college level. Badgers out in LA taking on new Big Ten foe, USC. Trojans already in front, but check out the Wisconsin offense. Braden Locke going to connect with Vinny Anthony, and the Badgers take it in for the score. We're even at 7. USC trying to respond. Miller Moss dropping back, lets it fly, but that ball is picked off. Preston Zachman, a huge play, would lead to a Badger score, and then later in the half, Badgers threatening again. That's Tywee Walker taking it in, puts Wisconsin up 21-7. Second half, and here come the Trojans. Just a 4-point game, and Moss going to find Deuce Robinson for the 8-yard score. USC goes in front. Wisconsin trying to answer 3rd and 5, but the swing pass is shut down. Badgers would punt it away, and USC would capitalize. Moss, this time using his feet on 4th down. He's going to spin and gets in for the score. 31 straight points for USC as they take this one 38-21. Minnesota up against Michigan, down 10 late in the game, but Max Brosmer dials it up, connects with Daniel Jackson for the score. Gophers down just 3. But then they would need an onside kick. Not the most likely of outcomes, but look at this. The ball gets past the Michigan defenders. Gophers get on it. They recover, or so they thought. An offsides penalty means Minnesota does not get the ball, and Michigan holds on for the win 27-24. Down a level in Division II, Winona State on the road in South Dakota. Warriors fall in a close one, 30-24 to Northern State. Winona State now just 1-3 on the year. They'll have Moorhead next week. Tomorrow, we've got a big one in Green Bay. The 2-1 Packers hosting the 3-0 Minnesota Vikings. And even though it's only week 4, a win for either of these teams would be big for conference standings. Love, still listed as questionable, will most likely be a game-time decision. But don't be surprised if Malik Willis gets a few snaps regardless if Love plays, as Love most likely won't be 100%. And with that, with what Willis has shown in the past few weeks, it might be a good way to keep the Viking defense on their toes. Kickoff set for noon right here on WKBT. NBA training camps getting underway, and we had some shocking reports coming out of Minnesota as the Timberwolves are sending Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks in exchange for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick. Towns is entering his 10th season in the NBA and never hinted at, or entering the 10th season in the NBA, 9 of them all with Minnesota, never hinted at any problems with the team that drafted him back in 2015 and was a big part of Minnesota's run last season to the Western Conference Finals. But now, with the NBA season set to start in less than a month, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves are going to look completely different. We'll end with a quick MLB note. Brewers keep winning 6-0 tonight over the Mets, and now New York's playoff hopes are on the line as tomorrow is the last game of the regular season. Twins were eliminated from the playoffs after last night's loss to the Orioles. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
My husband and I are going through IVF treatments now. It could be our only chance to have a family. But Donald Trump's plan could ban IVF in some states. My husband is in the military. He volunteered to serve. We are patriots and we go where he is assigned. What if we end up in a state where IVF is no longer legal? What will we do then?
I'm Kamala Harris and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Hey, Dominic here, and I'm back to show you how I personally make my Bloody Marys using our Please Name Bloody Mary mix. First, you'll take a pint glass full of ice, add a spoonful of Please Name Bloody Mary mix, a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce, a shot or 2 of vodka, and top it off with tomato juice. Want it spicier? Add more mix. Be sure to get your Please Name Bloody Mary mix and 39 other blends at the Please Name Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. Cheers! Worcestershire.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's fall jean sale is going on now, and all jeans are on sale. We're so confident we have the right brand, style, and fit for you that we'll give you a free $5 Farm and Fleet gift card for every pair of jeans you buy. Like men's special buy Carhartt jeans, 40% off, just $17.99. $20 off women's Levi's classic bootcut jeans, only $39.99. And men's Key work jeans start at only $18.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
A man got the chance to thank the nurse who saved his life when they reunited in Duxbury, Massachusetts Wednesday. The man collapsed and went into cardiac arrest during a bike ride earlier this month. Luckily for him, the nurse just happened to be on a walk and jumped into action. Amanda Crawford has more.
Just blows my mind that somehow that I was the beneficiary of all this good fortune.
A biker reunites with the nurse who saved his life when he collapsed on a popular Duxbury trail earlier this month. Paul McDermott went into cardiac arrest on September 1st. An off-duty Boston Medical Center nurse who was out for a walk with her dog acted quickly. She administered CPR while waiting for first responders to arrive.
And I'm only here today because of the wonderful support and treatment I got from all of these first responders standing behind me. First and foremost, of course, Kerry. No one else would have been able to do anything to help me were it not for what Kerry did for me.
The nurse talking about those tense moments on the trail.
I immediately called 911, put on speaker, threw that on the ground, and then started the chest compressions. I just never expected in the middle of the woods being able to save someone. Obviously, when at the hospital, it's a controlled environment, and this is very uncontrolled.
The Duxbury fire chief says the fast work from Kerry and first responders was crucial in saving his life.
Everybody you see behind me is part of that chain, and if there was one link missing that day, we wouldn't have had the outcome that we had that day.
First responders say it's important for everyone to learn CPR. McDermott underwent bypass surgery and was released from the hospital 4 days later. Stay with us. We'll have one final check of your forecast when we return.
National Democrats are spending millions on deceptive ads like these that lie and try to confuse you. Why? Because Democrats like Harris and Baldwin don't want you to focus on their radical record, allowing men to compete in girls' sports, funding a clinic that offers transgender therapy to minors without parents' consent, giving stimulus checks to illegals while Wisconsin families struggle. Baldwin and Democrats want you to focus on anything but their radical agenda.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
It's time for Jolivet Family Farms Fall Harvest. There's no substitute for homegrown freshness. Stop by today for some of Jolivet's homegrown raspberries, squash, crowd cabbage, popcorn, and large selection of apples. Hardy Mums are now in bloom and available at Jolivet's. Find distinctive crafts and decor, Wisconsin wines, take home some apple crisp, apple pies, caramel apples, and apple cider donuts from our homemade bakery. Buy fresh, buy local. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger.
You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen, maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck? Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the board store.
Birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Join today's shoppers as they explore Sweet Valley Artisans.
There's so many good things here. How do you pick just one?
You don't.
I've been looking for something to hang in my garage. What about this? Or this?
Vintage clothing and accessories? Let's check it out. Have you found anything yet? Yeah?
I'm getting hungry just looking at this. I know what you mean.
Stop in and find your treasure today.
For anybody in this region who is facing mobility issues,
I'd recommend Access Elevator because I know Jason.
The thing that sets Jason apart is that commitment, that passion for making life more pleasant. He will help you think about how to make your life easier in ways that you have not thought about.
There's no second guessing. I immediately say, call Access.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevator. Stop in and see us today.
Well, here's our Sunday forecast. I know it says still summer-ish, but it's looking very summer-like. Maybe get an iced coffee instead of a hot one, because it's going to be a little hot. But hey, Sunday's looking like a great day for a Vikings win, in my opinion.
Wow, Vikings win. I'm going to need a cup of coffee early to make that trip to Green Bay. Is it going to be a good day for the game?
It's going to be beautiful.
Beautiful.
Maybe wear some sunscreen.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. Well, we want to thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night.